How do you start a startup? You just start. How do you start an interview? You just start. Well, let's go then. Now, you've helped with coaching and managing over 200 high-tech startups. Can you tell us a little bit more about your experience?
This coaching, managing has been stretched over about 15 years, I would say. Mostly Swiss startups in various industries. Now, what really matters, I would say, and when I discuss it with other venture capitalists, the most salient point is the team. That's very important. And you want to make sure that you achieve the right balance within the team between a business person and a tech person, ideally a team of two at the beginning. Then the ability of the team to pivot, because you know that nothing is going to happen as planned in the life of a startup. And the entrepreneur has to be able to reorient it, pivot his business model, find new markets. So these are very important points. And what we see then regarding the chances of success or failure of a project, of a startup, is a good idea maybe represent 5% of the total value of the company. The execution by the team is about 95%, and the ability to deploy the business plan and to find a market, that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. Just one final point on startups and your help with them. Have you noticed any significant changes in recent times? Has it got better and easier or harder?
I think it's always about the same, which is for our job is to invest in high-tech companies when they are young, and we buy shares in these companies, and then we help them to grow, and we resell these shares at a higher valuation. That's our job. Now, it all will depend on the management team. And in that respect, over years, management teams, they stay, you find good teams, bad teams. Maybe the companies, they get more and more digital. They use more and more these IT tools. There is an automatization of the business, which we didn't see about 15 years ago. If you look at the Silicon Valley, you have very large market players, which I'm not going to name, active in the digital software field. And so Swiss startups, which are developing technologies in that area, very quickly, they move to the Silicon Valley to find their market. Likewise, in Switzerland, we have a very large wealth tech industry with all the Swiss banks. And what is interesting to see is that we have companies from all around the world which are looking for this type of wealth ecosystem. For instance, we have this wealth tech forum, which is providing with a lot of visibility and support to these companies. And that's why we see now quite a sharp increase of the number of wealth tech companies coming and flocking to Geneva.
Mm-hmm. You're also a partner of BlueOcean Ventures, which invest in medical technologies. Do you think something like this can be done within wealth tech?
Absolutely. I see a lot of similarities between wealth tech and the medical technologies. Both these are very Swiss industries with large players, large world players. And also you have the proximity of the universities, École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne or ETH in Zurich, which are providing a lot of students with high technologies skills. And when you marry these two, then you have a very good deal flow. And that's important for a venture capitalist. You must have a high quality deal flow.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if you could just expand a little bit more for maybe those who aren't as familiar with these medical technologies and what that really means and what kind of new stuff we're seeing coming through as well.
So in terms of what are the new technologies
absolutely.
that we see, Well, the digital health, is now more and more present. For instance, BlueOcean, we have invested in company. For instance, one is named AVA, AVA, was nominated Best Swiss Startup 2 years in a row, 2017 and 2018. And they have developed a fertility tracker, which is worn by women at night. And this device is monitoring about 10 bioparameters, is transmitting these parameters to central computers in Zurich, equipped with artificial intelligence, and the informations are then being analyzed and sent back to the woman on her smartphone to tell her what are the 5 most fertile days of her cycle. And there are already about 40,000 AVA babies which were born thanks to this device.
Wow. And just to finish up, gun to the head moment, if you had to give one piece of advice to a new startup, what would it be?
I think get your solution as quickly as possible on the market, even though it's still not quite ready, but even as a beta version or prototype version, test the market. And it's very important to make sure that what you have is fulfilling a market need.